Take a look at Jimmy Dore.
Well, I thought while we're circling the drain, rock bottom as a country, guys, this is what Jimmy Dore has sunk into. This is his new low. We know that for a long time he's been battling with guys like Sam Cedar, and then he pretended not to know who Sam Cedar was because he got so humiliated by him. And what's crazy is that Jimmy won't actually debate anybody. He's too afraid to go on their shows. What he does is the sad excuse for humiliating comedy. It is the most divorced dad coded thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's that he takes like young, pretty women from the internet and he tries to like lampoon them and he tries to slander them and make fun of them for having human emotions. And I think it's just a way at getting back at them because women never paid attention to him growing up. But this was just
it's kind of like how he
new low.
It's kind of like how he goes after Kyle Kalinske for being married to Crystal Ball. It's like that's not really like a dig.
Yeah, bro. Have you seen your wife? I'm sorry, but woof. Let's take a look at what he had to say about Emma Vigeland. All right, yeah. Last thing. Well, actually, I won't say any more about Jimmy's wife. I'm sorry. You guys take one look at her, and the jokes write themselves.
She's a huge turf. She's a fuck.
Dude. I was about to make a joke about there's a reason why she hates trans women. But anyway,
let's see.
One thing I'll just get a little emotional about is it does, as a woman, feel pretty shitty.
Hey, you know what?
imagine what kind of person you have to be like a 55-year-old man. You're doing your own stand-up comedy act, and what you're doing is you're putting up a 29, 30-year-old woman being emotional about the state of American politics, and you're just putting it up there and laughing
while your bitch wife fucking goes in the background.
Are you kidding me? What kind of shameless, morally vacuous, just empty person do you have to be in order to laugh at this, think this is funny at all? Imagine spending $45 to go see this crap. There's a reason this guy has had to take such a QAnon coded pivot. It's because he doesn't know how to be funny. Okay.
Also, like, people play this clip and act like Emma was just like reacting to Kamala Harris losing because she loved Kamala Harris or whatever. Like, Emma Vigeland never would have supported Kamala Harris in a primary. Obviously, she didn't support Kamala Harris in the primary when, you know, Bernie was running that primary and Elizabeth Warren was running that primary and other people who were superior were running in that primary. Of course, no one at the majority report, Emma Vigeland, they did not support Kamala Harris. But what she's sad about is not necessarily just that Kamala Harris lost that election, but that Donald Trump won that election, right? And that so many Americans voted for him despite the fact that he installed 3 Supreme Court justices, which helped to overturn Roe v. Wade, which obviously is a significant women's issue, you know, as cringy as it sounds. Sorry that, you know, that sounds woke or something, but like sometimes words describe things. And yeah, that is a woman's issue. And a lot of people didn't give a fuck about it when they voted for Donald Trump. So yeah, I also feel shitty about that. I mean, I didn't cry on air, but I don't blame anyone that did.
No, what the fuck? And here's the other thing. This is something I've been trying to get better at for a long time. It's one of my New Year's resolutions. It's kind of an uncomfortable thing to talk about, right? But one of the things that I've been talking to Salisa about and trying to engage with in my own life is that, you know, all of these societal elements, they kind of try and keep us from being emotional. There's this weird thing where being emotional is heavily interpreted as weakness. It's something that I really internalized, even if I didn't want to, right? It's very hard for me to be emotional. It's one of the first times in my life where I'm actually trying to engage on that level. And I admire people who are confident enough in themselves to go on a fucking a show with 1.5 million subscribers and be emotional and say, this is real life. This is how I feel. This does move me. You know, It's something that I have never had the self-assuredness or the confidence to do, but it's not wrong. And it's actually good and it's healthy and it's part of what makes us human beings. And I think part of our regression as a society that makes us less and less communal is this idea that you can't be emotional or that it's somehow like silly or that you're a loser or that you're somehow duped if you actually ever cared about any of this. I don't know. It's something that I saw this and it made me really mad because it kind of flies in the face of everything I've been trying to do better for myself. And I just fucking hate idiot pieces of shit like Jimmy, drunk assholes that want to come after people who have the confidence that they don't have.
Yeah, 100%. No, I totally agree. And also it's not like it's something that's usually planned. I mean, like the few times that I've teared up on air, it's not like I plan to cry. But sometimes you're talking about something and you find yourself kind of lost in your emotions. And yeah, that's just what happens. But it's not like, anything other than a natural reaction. And of course, this is politics we're talking about. This is real world stuff with real world implications. We should be emotionally invested in the stuff we're talking about. If we just detach ourselves, like Jimmy Dore apparently has, to the point where it's all just like this, farce or something, and where nothing really matters other than enriching yourself. Well, yeah, of course you're not going to be emotionally affected by anything that's going on, because again, all you care about is money. You don't actually give a shit about the impacts and the consequences of what you're talking about. Emma Vigeland understands that, yeah, the reason why we're talking about this stuff, the reason why it's important to discuss, is because of the real world implications, and they are sad. Like that's the fact of the matter.
Yeah, I mean, it really does make me sick to my stomach looking at this asshole. Again, I just can't imagine. This guy has planned a stand-up comedy night where he goes to a venue. He does the sound check. He looks out at an audience of people who paid money to see him. And he was like, you know what my gag is? My gag is going to be a person who was hosting their show being emotionally moved by something that they experience. Ha ha. Like, go fuck yourself. You're not human. You're a weasel.
And to be fair, it is one thing. Like, I don't really blame people for playing those clips from 2016 of some of the liberals like just screaming and freaking out. Like, remember, even the TYT broadcast from that night was pretty funny.
Bro, I would have been just as hysterical that night, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, well, the point I'm making is that this isn't even one of those examples. Sure. Emma's just like, she's being pretty understated. She's being pretty, like, she's really just genuinely expressing how she feels. This is not a freak out. This is not a hysterical meltdown. Like I said, I don't blame people for sharing the TYT one from the night Donald Trump won in 2016. That shit was hilarious. No one can deny that.
Oh, yeah. Also, I'm sorry for people I offended in the chat. If you're in recovery, I wasn't referencing you. Let's just say that I know a lot of Jimmy's behavior comes of him being a narcissistic, drunk asshole, and I don't have any respect or sympathy for him.
If it's any consolation, I'm sure your 10th booster made you sterile. Okay?
Jimmy's been sterile his whole life.
Why did he do that weird laugh at the end of his own joke? Did you hear that?
Oh, God. That's because nobody else is going to laugh, and he doesn't want to hear the deafening silence of bombing.
Okay?
Nobody in the audience is laughing. It's all people he paid to be there. His live action peanut gallery.
Imagine doing that after you tell a joke, like, as if people don't know what to do. Like, just in case you forgot, you're supposed to laugh now at my shit fucking joke. He's like doing a laugh track for his own joke. What a disgrace,
fucking
bro.
Humiliating.
Also, some people were saying you were a little bit quiet. Is Zach still quiet? Does he need to be turned up?
Hello,
chat,
everyone. Let me turn up a little bit just to be sure.
He's been.
I'm waiting
the whole time.
Humor. I've just been unmuted. Honestly, that's the best way to enjoy
No
my
one said
commentary.
anything.
On mute. Yeah, everybody was like, you know what? We're watching his mouth move, and that's enough. That's enough. You know, some people have a face for radio. I have a voice for the mute button.
Okay, well now maybe he's too loud because people are saying it's fine. Either way, yeah. What an idiotic routine. Again, it's totally fair to make fun of like if I don't know, I can picture there being examples of liberals reacting to Trump in a funny way where it would, like, where even we could make fun of it, like on some MSNBC show, or like I said, that 2016 Trump compilation. But this wasn't even hysterical or really funny at all. It was just like, yeah, this kind of sucks.
Yeah,
this it brings me to tears because this is shitty. Like, that's not funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really not. I mean, I don't think it's funny.
I mean, he literally is doing the decades-old, super tired and overdone bit of "I'm drinking liberals' tears." Like, haha, triggered lib, sad. That makes me feel big. It's like no different than being the bully on the playground that pushes a kid over because you're unhappy with your home life and you don't know how to grapple with it. But he hasn't ever grown up. He's still that little pissant little bastard deep down. And I know that I'm sure he's angry and I'm sure he feels fucked over by the world, but that doesn't mean that you have the right to be a 55-year-old little
He's a millionaire.
Shit. He's a fucking loser is what he is. And he's a small little man in there. And he makes the joke about infertility because he can't have his own little rat bastard children. Hello, dummies.
That was such a weird joke to make, as like he doesn't have fucking kids. And I remember on PBD's show, do you remember he actually got like scolded by PBD? He was like, best thing I ever did, have kids. Can't believe you didn't, Jimmy. Like he was like, can't I 5 kids? I wish I had 6. I wish I had 7. I told my wife, let's have some more, you know? And he's like, I think the number one mistake you can make as a man is not having kids. You fuck up your whole life. All you care about is yourself if you don't have kids. And Jimmy Dore sitting right across from him, childless. Not that I give a shit. I also plan to never have kids. I'm also a selfish bastard. I don't want to invest in some, children. I want to take care of myself. But, the point is that what a weird joke to make about Emma Vigeland being sterile. Who fucking cares, bro? And yeah, the vaccine doesn't even do that.
Yeah, it's funny too. Jimmy's testes are so small that the reason he doesn't have children is because he can't actually come. He just produces a mild fart sound
Out of his dick.
yeah. Anyway,